إلا رحمة للعالمين ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين
سبابة وتعلما من لوحة الهجران وأرى القلوب لدى الحناجر كالنجرين ونفر الملمان يا بدرنا يا آية الرحمن أحد الهداة وأشرى الشجعان يا ربي صل على نبيك دائما في هذه الدنيا وبعث ثاني يا ربي صل على نبيك دائما في هذه الدنيا وبعث ثاني.
Students of FIU, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings and mercies of God be upon all of you. This is the greeting that one imparts on another in Islam when they meet. So Socrates might challenge you students with this question. How could it be then that a follower of Islam, referred to as a Muslim, can go from showering peace on others to drastic violence against humanity? Is this the teaching and example of this Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, advocated by his followers? If we look closely at his teachings and how he lived his life, the answer is self-evidently a resounding no. Be he a monarch who is a Muslim, be he an ordinary subject who is a Muslim. He said, I promise, as the founder, as the prophet of this religion, I promise that any monk, any wayfarer who may seek my help on the mountains, in the forests, in the deserts, in the habitations, or in places of worship, I, Muhammad, I will repel his enemies with my friends and my helpers, and all of my relatives, and all those who profess to follow me, he said, I will defend them, because they are my covenant. He goes on to say, this was a huge transition for this man to be an orphan and unlettered, and then to become this ruler, and yet he did nothing but display this magnanimity. And the last thing Mr. Boswell, Reverend Boswell says on this one, yet the prophet of Islam retained the nobility of his character under all circumstances. And this is in Reverend Boswell. Her work, Muhammad, a Western Attempt to Understand Islam, pages 265, 266. And that journey when I was 18 or 19 took me to like a born again or renewal of Islam. I thought that the people around me were decent people, but they were a little soft, they were a little weak. And I really liked what the Black Panther Party was saying and doing for the community. I became a secret member of the Black Panther Party. I would sneak out of the house, going like I was going to play with my friends, and I had my Black Panther parade and other things. at one of my friend's house, like the Huey P. Newton piece there. Stand up, brother. I used to have all of these posters. I had all of this. Turn around, let them see your shirt. That is the founder of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton, who I thought, wow, this man's got the right ideas. So I volunteered in the children's program, and it wasn't until I came to college at Wilberforce, and I studied all these isms and all these different things, and I realized that Islam had something. But I wasn't convinced because, remember, it was handed to me on a silver platter. So I began to study Islam for myself, believe it for myself, and no longer was just calling myself as just some Muslim punk because it's Eid, or because today is Friday, or because it's Ramadan. So I did something really drastic, Paul. I have never been to Jamaica, I've never been to Africa. I had the audacity to be a black guy to go to this place called Wabwa, Pakistan. Now, this is where the seat of our spiritual community was. So I went there as a young man. My afro was like this, I had to bring it down. And I was absolutely moved and changed.
And elaborate on this. And this is our claim, that the solution to the economic problems actually lies in the Islamic structure of economics. And that's, I can go in detail and I can provide you more information on that. And I'm glad you had raised this question, but I will answer, I promise. But in the interest of time, we'll let it go now.
Which
Boxer or the fourth Khalifa?
The husband of the Prophet Muhammad's
daughter.
My question was, by him not being a successor was part of the reason why some of the teachings of Muhammad wasn't really like followed by the people, or I'm just asking, followed by the people, or what?
He's asking that why caliphs before him, and he followed all of them. He did the bayat, the pledge to all of them, 3 of them, and then he was the 4th caliph. So we do not believe that he was the first caliph after Prophet Muhammad, but he was the 4th caliph after Prophet Muhammad. And we like him, love him as we love the other ones. But that is a revision on the Shias and the Sunnis. I wonder if we don't have the time to go to the details, but we believe in all the caliphs.
And basically, I see that a woman gets less, like a sister gets less than her brother, even if she is the elder sister. So I guess what can you say to that? Do you think Muhammad would change that now that times are different, the context is different? Should we think about that and possibly follow it? And also, what percentage of Muslims follow those laws?
Thank you. Household. Now, this keeping in mind, that is where this 2-to-1 ratio comes. That a man is responsible to run a house, that's why he gets 2. And since the daughter or the sister, she has no financial responsibility. And we are talking at the time that Brother Habib has elaborated in detail, or in limited detail, I guess, that the status of women was. And as you mentioned, the Muhammad is feminist. And this is one of those things, he still gave them some financial support so they are not deprived at all. But as far as their financial responsibilities are concerned, they have none whatsoever.
But then, and now it's more, women are contributing more towards the household.
They are not, by Islamic teachings, they are not asked to do anything. Any of the Muslims women who are working, if their husbands are asking them to give them money, they are answerable to God. That's what Prophet Muhammad has taught us.
And then do you know the percentage of Muslims that actually follow these inheritance laws?
I do not know if there are any studies done, But I hope and pray that most of the Muslims follow this practice.
Ma'am, what is your name? Christine. Two things for you. I want to come back to the feminist thing. But I'd like to also ask you to consider, there's a difference between what Islam teaches and what cultures actually say and what cultures actually do. Okay? For example, being an African American, born in the African American tradition, and there are things that I still eat and like that have nothing to do with my Pakistani brothers and sisters. I like greens, I like ribs, I like sweet potatoes. I make the best pound cake like a fat man. But this has to do with culture and influence. It has nothing to do with if you come to Habib's house and he has greens cooked in smoked turkey, that this is Islamic food. No, this is Habib food. So I come back to this. You know that there are cultures that Islam teaches a particular thing about inheritance or about education or whatever, and they do something entirely different. All of us, every culture is inundated by that. But my point is, there's a difference between culture, what culture says, and that.
But we do have websites, muslimforpeace.org, and also we have started a new website recently, muhammadfactcheck.org. So all these questions, those are asked, most of them are already there. So you can go there. We have a beautiful mosque in the Hellender Beach. So if you want to come there someday, spend some time with us, that will be fine. So please join me in the silent prayers now.